Factory.
Welcome back to Vision. More than 1.5 million Americans have hepatitis B, a disease that can lead to liver cancer. A great number of those afflicted with this silent liver disease are Asian Americans. And here to talk to us about this highly infectious disease, I want to welcome Dr. Charles G. Fan, a gastroenterologist from Sugar Land, and Wayne Gosby with St. Luke's Texas Liver Coalition, a nonprofit organization that conducts educational outreach in patients and to their families as well. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Dr. Fan, tell us why Asian Americans are more susceptible to this disease.
One of the problems in the Asian American is that the rate of transmission for Asian is usually through from the mother to her child as she's giving birth to the child, and so that we call vertical transmission. And because of that, the disease is so prevalent in Asia, and with the amount of immigration that's coming to the United States, these people sort of bring the disease with them to the United States. And so we can see that in the different ethnic communities, in the Asian communities in the United States, the rate of chronic hepatitis B is quite high.
So with this chronic hepatitis B, Wayne, what is your organization? How are you trying to do outreach, and what are your goals?
Our goals are basically to test. We want to screen every person, Asian American, African American, anyone that's in endemic areas. So we do it all for free.
So do you guys hold clinics, and then tell us about
We work with different organizations like the Asian American Health Coalition,
yeah.
the Hope Clinic, and then Denver Harbor. We go out and do health fairs sometimes. So we're trying to get a lot more people tested.
Dr. Fan, what are some of the symptoms? Or is there some way people should just go get tested, or do they look for specific symptoms before they go to a doctor or a clinic?
One of the problems with chronic hepatitis B is that there a lot of times there's no symptoms. Once you develop symptoms such as jaundice or abdominal pain or weight loss, it might be too late. Oftentimes that's usually in advanced disease, or patient may have developed cancer, then they develop symptoms. A lot of times people find out that they have chronic hepatitis B once they have those kind of problems. So a majority of patients who have chronic hepatitis B do not have any symptoms. So we just have to test those who are at high risk for the disease.
Well, what is someone at a high risk?
Well, someone who is considered high risk is if they're foreign-born, they're from areas of high prevalence such as Asia or Southeast Asia, or they have family members who have chronic hepatitis B. Those we considered high-risk people. And also the people who are from areas of higher prevalence of about 2 to 7%, such as India, also recommended to be tested by the CDC.
So Wayne, with St. Luke's and your coalition, besides working with local clinics and testing, what are your biggest concerns about the fact that as new immigrants come in, that this is an issue that maybe they're not aware of, and you guys really have to get the message out?
And that's the big thing, is getting out into the community and educating them, because they don't realize, because it's so asymptomatic, that they have the disease. So they need to be tested is the big thing, especially anyone from Asia.
And is the testing process pretty easy? Straightforward?
Straightforward. It's just a simple blood test, 1 tube, and we can tell whether they need vaccination, whether they're immune, or whether they have infection.
How long have you guys been actually doing this active outreach?
We've been doing it for about a year now.
And about how many people have you tested? Do you know?
Overall, it's over 1,500 just in the Asian community, and in the Vietnamese community last year, we have an 11.3% positive rate.
Oh, wow. So that's very important that people get tested. Dr. Fan, what do you tell all your patients, hey, let me test you, you need to get tested, or how do you get the message out to, especially a lot of the immigrants who English may not be their first language?
I tell all of my patients that all Asian patients have to be tested, and we try to educate the primary care physicians who take care of these patients that all Asians or foreign-born immigrants ought to be from Asia ought to be tested for chronic hepatitis B. We try to get the words out so people at least get tested so they know the status.
Is there a known cause for it, about why people get it?
About why people get hepatitis B?
Yeah, is there a cause for hepatitis B?
The hepatitis B is caused by a virus, and it is transmitted through, mainly in Asia, through vertical transmission from the mother to her child as she's giving birth to the child. But it also can be transmitted through sexual contact, drug use. We have to come in contact with the bodily fluids of the infected person. That's how you get contract the virus.
So Wayne, for people who are watching who might know if they work with a large group of immigrants or perhaps they're interested in getting tested, what's the best approach in doing so?
Well, the biggest thing to remember is also it's 100 times more infectious than HIV. So the best approach is more just, if you're Asian born, to be tested and to learn about hepatitis B and how it's transmitted.
It's always easier to treat earlier than by the time you become symptomatic.
That's right, because one of the problems with the hepatitis B is it can cause liver cancer, and so we don't really want to have our patient to be at that stage and then diagnose the problem.
Great. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Very informative. Thank you for helping out in the community. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, coming up next on Visions, a colorful street painting festival. We always love Via Clory. That's coming.